You know that moment when everyone starts panicking about some breaking news, but you are already mentally prepared for it? That's pretty much the atmosphere in Baltimore right now. While the entire NFL woke up shocked by Joe Burrow's return, the Ravens had already been bracing for one of the most dangerous quarterbacks in the league. And now, with Burrow coming back right in Thanksgiving week, this matchup suddenly carries a whole different weight. The kind of energy that makes every snap feel like a final. And there's a detail that ramps up the tension even more. Burrow is coming back just in time to reunite with Jamar Chase, who's been playing an insane level even without him. Now, picture the two of them together again. The Ravens know that changes everything. That's why this week turned into something close to a red alert situation inside the building. And once you understand what's really at stake, every part of the story gets more intense, because what's coming isn't just another game. It's a clash that could shake the entire AFC North. The news of Joe Burrow's return surprised a lot of people, but it didn't change anything for the Ravens. They spent the whole week preparing as if he were already confirmed, without waiting for any official announcement or last-minute update. It's that quiet kind of preparation from a team that knows exactly what's coming and refuses to get caught off guard in a matchup that already felt heavy before the opening kickoff. What makes all this even tougher is the fact that Burrow's return immediately reignites his connection with Jamar Chase. Even without his quarterback, Chase carried the Bengals' offense, made tough catches, kept drives alive, and reminded everyone he doesn't need anyone to dominate. Now he's back with the guy who unlocks the best version of him, a connection that works almost automatically without needing warm-ups or rhythm. The Ravens know exactly what this duo can do from a very first snap. At the same time, they're starting to get their own internal reinforcements, like Rashad Bateman taking on a fuller role in practice. That keeps things more balanced, but it doesn't reduce the amount of attention Cincinnati's offense is about to demand now that its core piece is back in place. Baltimore's early preparation shows that they see this reunion as something bigger than a simple return from injury. It's a combination that changes the whole tempo of the game and demands quick answers, something that becomes even clearer when you hear what John Harbaugh said before Burrow was even officially cleared. Even before the official announcement, John Harbaugh sounded like someone who already had all the information. From the start of the week, he made it clear he expected Burrow to play, without sugarcoating or guessing who the Bengals' starting quarterback would be. That straightforwardness fits perfectly with the way Baltimore approaches preparation. They don't make optimistic assumptions. They assume the opponent will come at full strength. And when Harbaugh speaks like that, it's usually because he knows the terrain too well. The recent history between Burrow and the Ravens explains a lot of his attitude. The last time they faced each other, Burrow threw 56 passes for 428 yards and 4 touchdowns in a game that turned into an offensive marathon and nearly slipped away from Baltimore. That matchup left a mark, not because of drama, but because of how quickly Burrow can turn the smallest mistake into a major problem. A coach doesn't forget a game like that just because the quarterback missed a few weeks. Harbaugh also said something that hits the core of the challenge. The Bengals' offensive system is built around Burrow. It's not about adjusting things temporarily. The entire structure breeds a style of play. And when you're facing a quarterback who's that connected to the identity of his offense, you can't rely on rust or post-injury limitations. Burrow doesn't need to be perfect to be dangerous. He just needs to be on the field with time to throw. That kind of clarity shows the Ravens aren't treating this like a regular season game, nor as a sentimental comeback story. For Harbaugh, it's simply a rematch with a quarterback he knows too well, which naturally leads into the next part. What this return truly means for Baltimore's plan moving forward. The Ravens enter this matchup knowing they can't expect mistakes, physical limitations, or a slow rhythm from the Bengals. Harbaugh made it clear that Burrow is still an elite passer, someone who can slide out of the pocket, improvise, and punish a defense that hesitates for even a second. That puts Baltimore in full focus mode, where every detail becomes part of the plan, positioning, discipline, and constant pressure. Harbaugh's comment about professional Joe say a lot about how the Ravens see the situation. It doesn't matter how long he's been out or how much his game depends on rhythm. To Baltimore, Burrow is one of those quarterbacks you respect because of how he controls a game. Putting him back on the field is like returning a key piece to a chessboard where every move matters. and the Ravens are preparing for exactly that version of him. And there's the emotional side. Burrow's return gives Cincinnati that natural jolt, that sense that the team finally has its center of gravity back. Harbaugh didn't ignore that, but he responded with the confidence of someone who trusts his locker room. If the Bengals will come energized by Burrow's return, Baltimore has its own reasons to play with even more intensity. That sets up a game where neither side comes relaxed, and both know momentum can swing fast. That understanding of tempo and intensity puts Baltimore in a preparation mindset that goes beyond a regular season matchup. Because when you face a quarterback of this caliber, with such a tightly synced group of receivers, it's impossible not to look at the pieces around him, which leads directly into the real impact of this duo reuniting.
All right, we're already past the halfway point of this video, but before we continue, I noticed you haven't left a like yet. It's really important because it helps YouTube keep showing you my content so I can keep bringing you the best news about the Baltimore Ravens. So go ahead and hit that like button. It's free and it really helps. Thanks. Now let's get back to it.
Even with all the focus on Burrow, the piece that really tilted the field is Ja'Marr Chase. He was the engine of the offense while the quarterback was out, making tough catches, sustaining drives, and reminding everyone why he's considered one of the most dominant receivers in the league. And now, with Burrow back, Chase regains a partner who understands his breaks, his speed, and how he attacks the ball. It's a combination that doesn't need tuning. It just works. Harbaugh addressed that directly when he admitted he's tired of seeing Burrow throw into Chase and T. Higgins. That wasn't a complaint. It was acknowledgement. Baltimore is facing a receiver group that can turn a simple play into something explosive, and with the right quarterback back, the danger multiplies. When a coach speaks like that, you know the alert level is high in the building. The complication is that Chase comes in hot, with rhythm, volume, and confidence from the past few weeks, something Burrow recovers quickly when he's healthy. That means the Ravens can't just focus on pocket pressure. They have to balance that with tight coverage and avoid letting the duo find their timing early in the game. It's the kind of challenge that forces the defense to play precise football at every level. And it's that balance of pressure, coverage, and discipline that leads Baltimore into the final layer of the story, where everything comes together. This isn't just a return from injury or an offensive reunion. It's another chapter in a rivalry that never slows down. Burrow returning right in Thanksgiving week gives this matchup the feeling of a special moment inside the division. Nothing about it feels random. Ravens and Bengals meet at a stretch of the season where every win matters more, every mistake costs double, and every storyline connects with the last. It's one of those weeks where the AFC North shows why it's one of the toughest divisions in football. Baltimore comes in knowing exactly what they're facing. A quarterback who doesn't need perfect rhythm to make an impact, a receiver at the peak of his powers, an offense that comes alive when the two are together. Cincinnati, on the other hand, knows the Ravens' defense is playing at a high level and won't give them easy windows. Both sides understand the atmosphere, the history, and the symbolic weight of this matchup. What stands out is how everything seems to line up to create a game that refuses the obvious. It's not just about roster health or snap counts. It's about energy, adjustment, and quick reads, something Baltimore always emphasizes in divisional games. And when you line up all these elements, the return, the rivalry, the timing, the matchup gains a natural layer of drama. And as the game approaches, it feels like Baltimore is waiting for Joe Burrow, Cincinnati is waiting for Ja'Marr Chase, and the entire AFC North is waiting for a matchup that promises intensity from the first drive to the final second. The perfect stage for everything both teams carry into this point of the season. In the end, it all comes down to this. The Ravens weren't caught off guard. They prepared for Joe Burrow from the very first minute, understood the weight of his return, recognized the impact of Ja'Marr Chase playing at full speed, and approached the week knowing they need total focus to handle a combination that can change the rhythm of any game. Baltimore chose to face this reality head-on, without hoping for rust, without counting on mistakes, without leaning on excuses, just accepting that to beat a rival of this caliber, every detail has to be treated like a priority. And now I want to know, given all of this, do you think the Ravens can control Burrow and Chase right away in this Thanksgiving rematch? Because no matter what you think, one thing's already clear. This game has every ingredient of a matchup that shapes storylines, shakes the division, and reveals exactly who's ready to take control of the AFC North. And once the ball goes up, there's no room for doubt, only intensity.
And if you, just like me, are passionate about the world of football and want to learn more about the Ravens' legacy, don't leave this video without sharing it with that friend who is also a Baltimore Ravens fan and will love this content. See those video suggestions on your screen? The first one was handpicked just for you, and the other is a recommendation from YouTube itself.